Hello, this Hangout on Air is live, 5:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time, last day of June 2019. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, I can see that daylight is arriving. I woke up at 2:46 a.m. It was dark. The newspaper was already out there, though. I said, boy, they've been doing a good job lately bringing that paper at. Sometimes you wake up at 2:30. It's out there. So, well, you know, if it's a late game, they'll hold the paper. But in the summer, there isn't anything. We have no local major league summer teams, so that wouldn't happen anyway. We have two whiskeys, American blended whiskeys this morning. One is a company from a company that was founded in 1830, but the company no longer exists. It's Bellows American Blended Whiskey, bottled by Bellows and Company, St. Louis, Missouri. Well, guess what? It's not Bellows and Company. It's Luxco. But these bottlers, distillers are allowed to use alias names like the Founders Company, IWA Distillers, the Bellows and Company, but it's Luxco. Now, Bellows, it says a name of honor established in 1830. Well, that's no joke. It really was established in 1830, Bellows. And I was looking at some trademark information, and the trademark for Bellows was acquired in 1830. And their old trademark was a housefly. It was strange why you would put a housefly on liquor. Maybe it attracted flies. Now, there is Bellows American Blended Whiskey. There's Bellows Straight Bourbon Whiskey. There's Bellows Vodka, Bellows Gin. It's one of those kind of things where it's a whole line. 80 proof, blended at an 80-20 ratio. All of that. All right. Aged. Well, there's no age statement, so that means it's aged at least 4 years. It says Bellows Blend. Now, yesterday I did Bellows Club Whiskey. I don't like that stuff. This one's all right. Here's Triple Crown North American Blended Whiskey. This is the older label. And if you look at the new label, you'll see what I mean. If you look on the website for Triple Crown, there is a website for Triple Crown. There really isn't for Bellows. There's a Luxco website, and they show a photo of just the Bellows brand. And they're saying the finest quality ingredients go into the Bellows line of well-regarded liquors and all that. Here we got 3 crowns, Triple Crown. I don't know what crown it wears. It's also 80-20 blend, 80-20 blend. 80% grain neutral spirits, 20% straight bourbon whiskeys. This is only aged 2 years, though. It's so light. Well, with the light shining through the bottle, it's light. It might look darker to you. B for Bellows. B is for Bellows. B is for Bellows. And B is for Bubble and Bubble Gum. All right, so WB, William B. Williams of the Sammy Maudlin Show. All right, William Bellows, William B. All right, Triple Crown, introduced in 2013. It's got a smooth cap. I have 2 liquors now with a smooth cap. The Triple Crown and Captain Morgan White. It's strange because I don't know if you're fooling with some fried chicken or something, I wouldn't try to open a bottle anyway if my hands are greasy like that, but it would slip, if you put hand lotion on. Usually they have like a little grip surface, but this doesn't. This does. See, you know what I'm talking about, this grip surface. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Will I be able to tell them apart? I'm not sure because I find it kind of similar. We got a 4-year age and a 2-year aged. And new, never before used charred oak barrels. No, it's aged in used barrels because they're not going to reserve brand new barrels, charred oak for this. They're going to have reused barrels. Now, the bourbon is going to come from new barrels, the 20% bourbon. But of course, they're using that bourbon in other products too, straight bourbons and all of that. Whatever is in my left hand is darker than what's in my right hand. And I think that's the Bellows. Both have nice alcohol eggs. I think the Bellows is in my left hand. Yeah, B, Bellows. Okay. Don't think if I glance at it, it'll make much of a difference. So it's not that different. It's a slight. One is amber gold and one is more amber. But they're both in that brown liquor range, you know, that brown liquor spectrum. Are they colored to look darker than they would be without coloring? Oh, perhaps, because blended whiskey is allowed to have coloring added, and they don't have to disclose the fact that they do it. And I don't think beer is required to be disclosed. In other words, they can add color into beer, and I don't think they have to tell you. If it's artificial coloring, they may have to. You see, like a lot of these flavored beers will say with artificial colors added or F, D, and C. Number 5 and all that. But if it's caramel color, that's natural. So I think it's optional. And I'm not sure. I say I think. I didn't say I know. Because some of these beers that are brown, they taste like they would be golden or straw. You know what I'm saying? When you taste it, you say, it doesn't really taste like a dark beer. And you might say, what are you talking about? Shiner Bock, Yingling Traditional? Is that what you're trying to get at? I didn't say I was trying to get at that. I never mentioned those. I said somebody might accuse me of that. Of course, if you do taste those, you... Okay. Smells like the aroma generally associated with whiskey. I like to say that because that's on the United States Tax and Trade Bureau website. That's the requirement. Whiskey has to smell and taste like the aroma and flavor generally associated with whiskey. You say, well, how do they back that up? I mean, how do they enforce that? It's a good question. Second question would be, why would they even have to enforce it? Because who's going to make whiskey that doesn't smell like it? You know, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. If you make whiskey and it smells like gin, it probably won't sell. But it's still a law regulation. You know, there's so many government regulations for everything. Even cocktails are regulated. They have got, like, read the Tax and Trade Bureau glossary, and it talks about common mixed strengths or whatever they call it on there, and it's got a description of each. A Manhattan should contain the following. I'm like, what, they got cocktail police, United States Department of Cocktail Enforcement. We did an undercover operation, and we find that your White Russians are totally mixed incorrectly, and you are going to receive a warning. All right. It just smells like distilled grain. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's corn. Now, if it's bourbon, that means it's 51% corn. That's the 20%. So 51% of the 20% is at least, you know, is mostly corn. And probably 100% of the 80% is corn, because they're probably using straight up clear, odorless, colorless grain alcohol. And it's almost invariably made by corn in the United States. Doesn't have to be. Grain neutral spirits could be made from any grain. Well, it has to be grain. You know, if you did it from potatoes, it wouldn't be grain neutral spirits. It would be, I don't know, tuber neutral spirits. But you can make those too. You can make other neutral spirits, but grain neutral spirits have to be grain. All right, it smells all right. It's not too luxurious in the nose. It's just kind of flat. You know what I mean? Just flat, just basic. It doesn't smell so much like a doctor's office. Sometimes I say these things smell like a doctor's office, like antiseptic, you know what I mean? This one has a little caramel, a little oak, yes, a little charred oak, dried flowers, vanilla, all that. It has it. It's not a lot, but it's there. Okay, you could maybe take somebody who doesn't know a lot about liquor and they might think it's bourbon. Or as the people in Wales say, bourbon. They might think it's bourbon. Now this one smells even flatter than that one from the initial smell. You get all those things I just described, the charred wood, charred oak and all that, but well, no, it's starting to come out. These things will breathe. If you switch them around and let them breathe, I mean, they'll breathe. That makes sense. They'll breathe if you let them breathe. What I mean is if you let them breathe and it'll open up the aroma a little bit. It'll start to develop. There's a little peppery rye note here. Yeah. Maybe this is Triple Crown because Triple Crown supposedly is a much richer and developed whiskey. That's why it's $23 a 750 milliliter bottle. But I ain't buying that. 2-year aged. And it's supposed to be so fantastic because they use small grain bourbon, what they say is the most expensive bourbon in the world. They use the most expensive bourbon in the world to make a $24 bottle of blended whiskey, huh? Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. Strange. And I got my bottle, my 375 milliliter bottle. I got mine for $3.99. It's amazing that they could do that. But maybe they did. Maybe if there's some kind of great thing they pulled off. It smells corn, like corn, kernels, kind of like popcorn kernels, really. Not the oil, not the salt, you know, but it's kind of a corn thing going on. So do I know which is which right now? Not really. I don't think I could pin it down on aroma only, tell you the truth. They both smell pretty good. So if you're looking for a pretty good smelling whiskey, then Bellows, you know, I bought it at international market for $8.99 for a liter, 1 whole liter, $8.99. That's 1,000 milliliters. That's a good deal these days. The Triple Crown, no, you're going to pay $22, $23, $24. That's the same price as Jack Daniels, and Jack Daniels is straight bourbon whiskey, straight bourbon Tennessee whiskey, which is what it is. This is not. So you say, yeah, but it's got a nicer and fancier bottle. Well, if that, it could be a good gift because a lot of people, they don't care. They'll drink it, you know, it's whiskey to them. All right, taste. It also comes in a bag. Triple Crown, you can get it in these little soft bags with like a spigot on it. You say that sounds like a sneak into the baseball game bag. That's probably what it's designed for. This tastes like whiskey. There's the vanilla, there's the oak, charred oak, there's the dried, you know, the candied fruitcake fruit, the nectar, you know, dried flowers, all these things that you get with bourbon, but it's kind of, there's sugar, you know, it's sweet. It's just kind of though. You know, you'd expect that. Some people like these blended ones better because it cuts the sharpness of the straight bourbon. You know, like they find that too much charred oak, too much char in general, too much corn. It's just too much. It's like if you gave them Old Granddad 101, they'd say, ugh, or just Old Granddad, they might be repelled by it. So it's just too strong. But this they might like. You know, some people like softer flavors. You say, but don't they appreciate bold and rugged? Not everybody does. No, everybody does not. Yeah, this other one is very similar, but I think over here, no, there's a little melon, a little bit of melon pickup, and you can get more of the filler. I think this must be the Bellows. Now, starting not Tuesday, I'm planning to do King Square. That's that. Oh, no, that's later. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's right. I always forget my lineup. That's why I write it down, type it in. Starting Tuesday, we're going to do a bunch of Heaven Hill brands against Triple Crown. Like T.W. Samuels, Heaven Hill Kentucky Blended Whiskey, Kentucky Gold, and I always make jokes about Kentucky Gold. I say, if this is Kentucky Gold, I'd hate to see the silver and the bronze. I really would hate to see the silver and the bronze. But those Heaven Hill blended whiskeys, I've said this before, you probably say, not this again. Yeah, they have, you got to remember, some people never watched this channel until this morning. They have some strange melon, like honeydew melon flavor, and that is not appropriate for whiskey. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't think Heaven Hill's worrying too much about the quality of their blended whiskey. That is my impression. They just throwing it out there and saying, oh, well, people buy it, so why worry? It's true. In Louisiana, you see Heaven Hill blended whiskey everywhere you turn. Left, right, up, down, forward, backwards. Any grocery store, any convenience store has got Heaven Hill, you know, with that look like an old country store sign on it. Call it a placard. Any size you could think of. And I say, why do people buy this? You know why they're buying it, because it's cheap. Yeah, I think that's the Triple Crown over there. On my left could be your right, because sometimes these things are reversed. And then sometimes they're not, depending on the viewer and all. Like the reversed is reversed. So then it's straight. I think that's the Bellows because I'm picking up a little neutrality, a little water, good water, you know, good. Would I recommend the Bellows? Yes, I recommend it for $8.99 a liter. You'll pick up some flaws. But anyway, it won't matter because most people buying this stuff they're putting it in 7-Up or, you know, something. So for a standard basic product, it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to repurchase it. I'm pretty sure 1 liter is enough for the rest of my life. I'm not saying it's going to last the rest of my life. I'm saying it's enough. I tried it. I don't need to go back to it. It's fine, but it looks so bland. I mean, it tastes bland and it looks bland. Look at the label. It's like, here it is. Put it on the shelf at the bar. People, you can mix it. It's just so basic. Triple Crown is fancy, but it ain't really fancy. It's just the labeling and the packaging is fancy. Not that flask bottle, of course, but the, you know, the more. I even saw the 1,750 milliliter bottle. It's squared off and everything. No, they're not trying to make it look like a Jack Daniels. The way they're trying to make it look like a what's that brand? I can't think of it, but I've seen that design before. They're trying to mimic kind of a much higher grade whiskey, and I say, yeah, I see what they're doing. But they do a good job with that, you know. Luxco doesn't really make premier whiskeys, except they do make the Everclear, which we know is a famous grain neutral spirit and super high proof, nearly 100 proof. What, 190 proof? Not made for drinking, made for mixing. It's a concoction base. Get on their website and look on the bottle. It's not for drinking. But that's their flagship product, Everclear. And then they've got a lot of other stuff that's just, you know, cheap stuff. And I bought that Ronrico rum. Oh, somebody said you ought to write the company and tell them it tasted rancid. They'll give you a new bottle. I'm tempted to, in a way. But maybe it tastes like that. Maybe it's supposed to taste bizarre like that. I can't see why somebody would want to taste rum that tastes like old rancid sugar, but didn't make me ill. I had some of the beer one time that was spoiled, and it made me sick. It made me sick. My friend David told me yesterday, oh, beer doesn't go bad, does it? I said, yes, it does. I said, believe me, I had a first-hand experience, and that was terrible. That was a terrible experience. I felt sick for 2 days on only 4 ounces. Imagine if I had drunk the whole 500 milliliter bottle. I might have gone to the hospital. It was that bad. So please check dates. If you can decipher these hieroglyphics that they have on the bottle sometimes. We get a lot of German beers at Dorgnac's, and they do not check the dates. If you think they do, you are living in a fantasy world. And I'm not singling them out because most stores don't, and the distributors have a bad habit of not doing it. I stand by that. Well, I think Triple Crown wins this battle. I think Missouri beats Missouri because Triple Crown is from Missouri and Bellows is from Missouri. The west side versus the east side of the state, the western Missouri versus eastern Missouri. So the Triple Crown, I think, is along the banks of the Missouri River, and then the Luxco is on the banks of the west bank of the Mississippi, and Triple Crown is on the east bank of the Missouri River. Okay. Or would that be the south bank, right? Yeah. Never mind. What did I say? East bank. It makes no sense. All right. So let me call. I'll say this is Bellows. Please be Bellows. It is 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 Bellows. Bell. I got it right. I did it. I did it. I feel kind of good about that because I was a little worried. I said, I don't know. I may not be able to tell these apart. They're so similar, but they're not as similar as I had first believed. I think the Bellows has a lot more flaws. You can taste the grain alcohol. You can taste that little melon strangeness. Now, you say, yeah, but to be fair, they probably not cheating because it is true that the Triple Crown uses oak extract. You say oak extract. That's what I said to myself. Oak extract. What the heck is that? And then somebody made a comment on my channel and said oak extract is the corn syrup of whiskey, meaning, you know, like the adjunct with the corn syrup in beer. I said, I'm not sure that really matches, though, because I think corn syrup is a filler. And in a lot of these products, the grain neutral spirits would be the filler. So it would be a flavoring addition. But, you know, think about that. You're adding oak extract to a whiskey to make it taste oakier. Like, oh, yeah, it's been in a barrel. Yeah. Nah, it was only in the barrel for 2 years. They added that oak extract to make it taste more woody. You say, oh, that is total cheating. Yeah. These companies are something else, man. But they do that with a lot of food. Spruce up the stuff with additives. All right. Well, honestly, Triple Crown does, even if they're adding oak extract, it does taste better. I'm not going to repurchase it. I'm not about to go run out and buy another, because my friend David was saying they got it right there at River Ridge, $4. And here you said they got a lot of it. He bought a bottle. I said, I know, but I don't want it. I don't want any more. You know, I got it. You know, there's a lot of stuff I can buy that's cheap, but it doesn't mean I want it. Okay, so Bellows loses. I mean, I thought it was going to lose. I just thought it would have, well, that's not correct. I thought it would perhaps lose. Now, when you take price into consideration, however, I guess Bellows wins. And I say that's a theoretical thing, because the price, when you look around, like in Marrero, Louisiana, or Harvey, Louisiana, you'll see the Triple Crown. It'll be $23 a bottle. Not a good deal. That's a theoretical price, because I got this for $3.99, and I could have purchased 2 of them. That'd have been $7.50, and that would have only been $7.98. So in a practical sense, around here I can get it for $7.98, and then this is $8.99. So basically, it's the same price. So, but I can't say what it's going to be in your area. Drewski Brewski says, Ronald the Riot, cheers. Cheers back to you, Brewski. Drewski Brewski. Well, that's it today. And get ready for Tuesday morning, when I'm planning to do Triple Crown versus Heaven Hill. And I predict, now you can come back at me with that. Mark my words. I think that Triple Crown is going to whip up on Heaven Hill. I don't think Heaven Hill's that good. Yeah, I can get a bottle for $5.99 in some stores, but it may not even be worth that when you sit there and taste it. That's how I don't like it. Okay, I can get it at Matthias for $8.99, but you know, they tend to charge more. Some stores do that. They charge more for their products just to keep the riffraff out. You know what I'm saying? Some of these really deep discount stores kind of attract the wrong clientele, troublemakers. You know, that's a whole nother socio-political discussion. But I think we all know about problems in society. We all are aware of problems in our society by just watching the news every day. Okay, well, so interesting. It was more interesting than I had actually believed. I thought this was going to be just a humdrum taste challenge, kind of blah, kind of a downbeat challenge, but it didn't turn out that way. So good job, Triple Crown. Okay, and just posted a video review for that Corona Refresca. Interesting, the passion fruit lime, which I recorded last week. And I would like to do the guava. I think it's guava lime. I don't know what that's going to taste like. Well, I guess I don't know if I've ever had guava. Okay, well, and no, I don't just have flavored beers to review now. I did do the Bell's official hazy IPA that's been recorded, and planning to post that coming up. I've got a new Abita craft beer. I know nothing about it. I've got a new Left Hand Brewing. I've got a whole bunch of stuff. David and I did the Imperial Corova Milk Porter, which we were just going crazy about. He said it was world class. I didn't quite agree with that, but it was fabulous nonetheless. A little heavy for summertime. We should have reviewed it in the depths of winter, but we didn't. So anyway, thanks for watching this video production, and you take care.